You think sometimes when the coach is saying keep your eye on the ball, is that the player is watching it or is keeping the eye on the ball, but not the whole time? Sometimes the opposite problem. They are, but not at the important times, maybe.
Yes and no. So, and so the most important part of the no is if they're not okay. So if it's a good instruction because the student isn't looking at the ball the whole flight, but the constant reminder of keep your eye on the ball or watch the ball isn't producing them seeing the ball throughout its entire flight,
Yeah.
and it's the definition of insanity. It's doing the same thing over again expecting different results. So that's why, so this is where the number one thing that you can do is really pay full attention to the ball coming out of the opponent's racket. Now, this is a funny thing because when I say that, everybody nods in approval. Oh, I do that. I'm sure I do that.
Yeah.
Right. And and yet 100%, well, actually nearly 100% of the people who come to me for a first lesson, from beginner to even 4, 5, and 5.0 level players, 100% are not truly seeing the ball come out of the opponent's racket. And when they do, then they're like, oh, what a revelation. And
Yeah.
so now that tip right there has two things that watch the ball and keep your eye on the ball do not have. And that is a when and a where. So when if there's any type of instruction that has to do with perceiving the ball and decision making, then it's most powerful when it has a when and a where. And so the when and the where are simultaneously because the when is at the time of contact and the where is the point of contact. So if your full attention is on the opponent striking the ball at the moment that they strike it, then your brain gathers gigabits of information and processes it lightning fast. And you're going to find that you're going to hit the ball a lot more cleanly, get in better position for the ball, make quicker reactions, all of those things.
So, what do you think that those players are doing when they think they are watching the ball in the racket and they're not? What's the difference between not doing it properly and doing it properly in the vision or in the way it perceives?
I think they're thinking about something else. You know, I think there are a lot of different things they could be doing, probably an infinite number of things that they could be doing, especially those people who multitask a lot. I mean, they could hit their shot and they could be thinking, "What's for dinner?" Right? The shot has left them and it's on the way to the other player, and the other player's about to hit it, and they're like, "Are we having lasagna tonight?" And so their attention is on something else, or hopefully they're thinking about tennis and they're thinking about their match, so they might go, oh, I didn't hit that very well, and then their mind is on that, and then the other player's hitting and they haven't paid full attention to that because they haven't let go of the performance of their shot, so that their mind can be fully open and available to seeing the ball come out of the strings on the other side. The other thing that's interesting to me is even my most accomplished players who are starting to emerge to the point where they're seeing the ball come out of the frame find it challenging to do it 100% of the time.
Yeah.
Right. And so quite often I will ask some of my better players, do you know why you missed that shot? And their explanation usually has to do with some kind of stroke technique or footwork or something. But
Yeah.
then when I say, did you see the ball come out of my strings? And then they go, oh, no, I didn't.
Yeah.
So, and so that's the thing that's the most important is the contact point. So I forget where I heard this, but it was, when you've been coaching for 34 years, you forget the sources of a lot of the great wisdom that you've had a chance to hear over the years. But I forget who said that the contact point is the most important moment in tennis. So paying
That's the receiving
attention
target.
to paying attention to your opponent's contact point will give you a better chance to read and react.
Yeah.
Taking really good care of your contact point will give you a much better chance of executing what you want to play with your shot.